Hi everyone, it's good to see you all here. Please join us in welcoming Limor. She has been in the tech industry for over 20 years as an engineering leader, has been leading teams and organizations of different sizes while building a great culture, innovating, and shipping products. Her passion is helping women to succeed in tech industries. To do this, she is focused on mentoring female leaders for over past 4 years and has also teamed up with PowerToFly to create a mentorship program that will help women succeed in their careers. During today's session, Limor will share how to build a solid mentoring program at your organization. Hi, Limor.
Hi, Cheryl. Thank you so much for the introduction. And hi, everyone. It's greatest to be here. I cannot see you, but please feel free to put any questions in the chat. And let me try to share my screen. Hopefully, that will work.
Yeah. So I'll just hide myself, and the stage is all yours.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah. So, as Cheryl mentioned, I'm going to talk about how to build a solving mentorship program at your organization. And I don't think I need to introduce myself. I mean, the introduction has been great. I'll just say that I've been mentoring myself for about 6 years with different organizations. I think last I counted, it was 7 different organizations. I love mentoring. I love the impact I'm able to give to people's lives, especially women I'm mentoring. And I also build a mentorship program, and that's what we're going to talk about: how to build a mentorship program, because mentorship is a wonderful tool. But before we go into building, I want you first to understand why even you need one. So I'm very passionate about diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, and about specifically about women in the tech industry. And mentorship really, according to research, help boosting minority representation at the management level. According to research, from 9% to 24%. It impacts growth in promotion and retention rates for women, increasing from 15 to 38%. And it's a great tool for increasing productivity, engagement, empowerment, and helping people feel connected and really grow and thrive in your organization. So it's a great retention tool as well. And is there a question here? They just mentioned, if you have a question, yes, please ask your questions. What is the value? Why doing that? So mentees, obviously, it helps them immensely. By the way, it helps also the mentors. It helps them with their confidence, with developing different skills, whether it's communication related or more hard skills, building the network because they meet with mentors that maybe they wouldn't meet otherwise. And as I said, there are statistics about promotion, retention, and about salary increase as a result of mentorship. Just it's a byproduct of the confidence building and really having the mentee believe in what is achievable for them. And for the company, it really helps first with diverse representation in senior roles, and also helping keeping people around, because more people are engaged, you're able to promote more people, and people are happier. I was a manager for many years, and I can tell you that what keeps people motivated is that they believe in the organization and they have a path forward. They see that someone cares about them and worries about their success. So that's why mentorship is so incredible. And I'm just blazing through unless someone will stop me. I know that I have short amount of time. That's why I'm kind of rushing through the slides. What are the key ingredients for mentorship program? So first of all, you have to assign someone to actually run it. In many cases, it's someone from either HR or learning and development, or you bring someone external like myself to run it for you. You really need to think about What do you want to get out of it? What is a success criteria? It could be just, okay, I just want people to be more engaged and happy. So mentorship is just another way to keep people motivated. It's just another bonus. But it could be that you have a more defined criteria. Maybe you want to help people to learn some skills. Maybe you want to help people get to the next level. You need to define what do you want to achieve. Uh, how do you select mentors and mentees? Do people volunteer, or you have certain criteria for mentors to be at a certain experience level, at certain roles, maybe specific skills, and who can be a mentee? Is it someone that has some tenure at the company, or maybe they got some good ratings from their manager? How do you want to select people to participate? Or maybe you just open it up for everyone. How do you match? And I'll talk later about matching. How do you match between mentors and mentee, or do you let them just select by themselves? You need to think about onboarding and training both the mentors and the mentees. And you need to make sure that you're checking what's going on, not just let them go and not monitor, especially if the program is running for several months. You need to make sure that everything is running smoothly, that the match is okay, that they are making progress together and it's effective. And you need to have a proper closure to the program because it doesn't last forever. So you need to make sure that mentors and mentee are able to close the relationship. Now I'm going to talk about how to select a mentor. So those are just some of the criterias. There may be more. First of all, mentors typically, they're coming with experience. Usually when I mentor people, I mentor them based on the knowledge, the experience that I gained throughout the years. So typically they come with some experience and knowledge about a specific topic. It can be leadership, it can be something more technical, it can be a specific role that they have a lot of experience doing. All mentors, good mentors, are great listeners because eventually there is another side in front of you, the mentee, and you are there to support the mentee. And you really need to listen to them. So listening is very, very important. It's not about the mentor, it's about the mentee and supporting them. A mentor is a role model. For example, I've been in tech for many years, and for the most part, there are not enough role models for me in leadership, women role models, for example. So many times I felt, am I even capable of getting to the next level? So a lot of times mentors are role models for you that if they have done it, you can do it yourself. It doesn't have to be related necessarily to gender or to a specific minority group, but it's a role model for you. This is what you strive to become eventually. The mentors need to be also coming with a lot of empathy and no judgment because you, as the mentees bring, a lot of hardship, struggles, inconfidence, and the mentors need to be listening with empathy and not judgment. So it's important to pick people that really exercise empathy in their day to day. Open minded, patient, all of this is also required because the mentee may not necessarily decide to do things that the mentor agree to. That's okay. The mentor need to be willing to let their ego sit aside a little bit and let the mentee make their own choices. The mentors also need to be asking a lot of good questions about motivations. I'll just give you a very basic example. When I start mentoring people, I usually ask them what they want to achieve out of this relationship, what are their goals, and many times the answer is, I want to get a promotion. And this is not usually an answer I'm satisfied with. It's a great reason, but I'm always trying to understand why. Why are you trying to get promoted? What is important to you? This is just a small example. So, good mentors are curious and want to understand the reasons and want to really understand the motivations, and they ask great questions that will enable the mentees to really think about things and why things are important for them, or why they're not able to do something, what is stopping them. And mentors need to be respectful to their mentees and honest. It's eventually building relationship of trust between mentor and mentee. And I put a quote here that I think applies also to mentorship. You probably heard of it. If you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. But if you teach him to fish, you feed him for many days. So good mentors will give mentees tools and help them to be able to overcome challenges eventually by themselves. Instead of just telling them what to do, good mentors are equipping the mentees with a tool set to be able to grow, succeed, and get better by themselves eventually. You don't want to build too much of a dependency here. And now let's talk about the mentees. How do you select mentees if you select? You want, so a lot of times, by the way, I see that as a common theme, that companies say, oh, I want to give high performance, high potential people mentorship, which is great, right? You want to reward people in your organization that are high performers and they have high potential. But not always that's the only way to choose mentees. Those are the characteristics I believe that good mentees should have. It could be that they are not the best performance, or you don't see or don't understand yet their full potential, but you see that they are always curious to grow and learn. In school, right? You probably heard the term growth mindset. So they do have a growth mindset. They always are passionate about learning something new. They are committed to the process. They want to do it. It's very important. I've seen many times that companies choose mentees. They decide you're going to participate in mentorship. And if there's not a strong enough motivation, it will not be as effective, as powerful. So you want to make sure that they actually want it and they are committed to the process. Open-minded is important from mentee side too, because you want to make sure that they want to learn. And, people typically that are very independent, they have good work ethic. They are not afraid to doing something that is uncomfortable, because in mentorship, you want them to. They are engaged, proactive, and all those things. And I'm moving forward because I don't have a lot of times. This is kind of a high level structure guideline. You don't have to follow that exactly, but kind of a guideline. You need to define a timeline. I like 6 months because it's enough time to actually see progress. But you can determine a shorter time. I've seen companies do it like less than like 2-3 months. How many sessions? What's the cadence? I just gave an example. Okay, every 2 weeks for 1 hour. What's the time commitment from the mentors and mentee? Other than the sessions, are they able to communicate between sessions? Are the mentees willing to do the work between sessions? As I said, do you volunteer them or mandate it? What are the key milestones of the program? How do you kind of manage the structure and help mentors and mentee figure out what is expected from them? And if to do it face-to-face or remote. And I'll talk a little bit about how to match. You can match based on different criteria or combine. So obviously it's about related to skills. So let's say someone wants to be better at public speaking and you have a mentor that is a great speaker. Here you go. You have a skill-based matching. Experience. So maybe someone is very experienced in product management and you have a new product manager. You can match them. It's based on experience and the role. Based on interest. Maybe they have similar interest. It can be something related to work or maybe outside of work because it allows them to connect. And personality, you want to match people that you feel are going to be a good fit. And it's hard to always predict that. And it assumes that you know the people. If it's a bigger organization, you don't always know them. And the last thing, you can use some software, there are a lot of platforms for mentorship that allows you to match, automatically based on obviously the mentors and mentees define their profiles, their skill and so forth, and the software match them. This is a good solution for organizations that want to run a large program at scale. If it's a small program and you know the people, you don't need to jump and use software for it. And last but not least, just kind of how it works. Again, you don't have to follow that exactly, but usually I like to start with goal setting. What are we doing here? It's not just for the sake of meeting and having a conversation, which is great by itself, but we want to really define what we're trying to get out of it. What are the goals out of the mentorship program? Then we kick off, we do the conversation between the mentor and mentee when they get to know each other, define the success criteria, how they work together, how they communicate. They meet every 2 weeks or whatever the cadence is. And I always encourage work between sessions, always action items and follow-ups, because growth usually happens when work is involved, and usually it's work that is a little bit uncomfortable. So stretching the mentees just a little bit every time to do something that they are not comfortable with. For example, I gave the example of public speaking. So maybe go and talk with your team, present something small, and then maybe present to a department, and maybe apply to a conference, but kind of taking small steps towards improving the mentees' skills. And obviously, I mentioned that previously, to do check-ins like quarterly, at least, to check how mentors and mentee, how the relationship is going, if it's a good fit. Maybe it's not a good fit and you need to make some changes. And that's in very high level, in 15 minutes or maybe a little bit more. So I want to be cautious of time. I want to thank you all for listening. No one asked questions, so hopefully it made sense. And here are my contact information, and it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure listening to you, and it is a wonderful presentation. There are two questions, but I think you have already answered those questions. But it would be great for the audience to have a look on this one again.
Yeah, how long? Great question. I usually recommend 6 months, unless you are talking about something very, very specific that you can define in few sessions. For example, I need to present better, and maybe you need, or prepare to some conference, and I need maybe 5 sessions with the mentors to prepare me to a specific presentation.
Okay. Okay. Nice to have you. Thank you so much for your time, and
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you so much.
have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you.